Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to give you the in-depth details of all my Warzone settings. Here are my graphic settings. They are tailored for high performance, so you have a very seamless and incredible gaming experience. I rock full screen. My display adapter, of course, the 3090. My monitor itself is the Alienware 2721D. As you'll see, it's a 240 Hz monitor, 1440p, dynamic resolution disabled, aspect ratio automatic. We're going to go disabled, unlimited. I play with a brightness of 55. Obviously, you can alter that. Some people go around 50, 60, whatever is best for you. 2.2 sRGB display gamma. NVIDIA highlights, turn that off. And reflex low latency. So it's been tested, and supposedly for Caldera, enabled is better than boosted. In Verdansk, I always rocked boosted, but when I have my PC optimized, I talked to my guy, and he said through a lot of testing, you're going to get the best overall performance with leaving it on enabled. I've done that. I have tested both, and overall, I am a lot more comfortable using enabled. Moving on to the quality tab. I am on 120 FOV, and this is huge right here. Playing on affected. Affected versus independent. Independent, aiming down sights, zooms the field of view to its usual value. So when you play on affected, you're not getting a zoomed in crop-like feature, so you can see more all around you. I just changed camera movement to 50%. It was on 100. It does make the game feel like a little more stable, not as much camera shake when there's like explosion. Low streaming quality, texture resolution. I play normal, but it is recommended for low or very low, depending on what kind of PC you've got. I've been rocking normal just for slightly better visibility. We all know Caldera is super tough to see, so I bumped it up to normal because I was okay with sacrificing some frames for some better clarity. But depending on what you have, you might just want to stick to very low or low. Texture filter, I leave it on high. I would recommend you do so as well, unless you just really don't want to. It's not really going to affect your performance incredibly. Particle quality, I also have on high. Bullet impacts and sprays disabled. Tessellation disabled. Dismemberment disabled. On-demand texture streaming disabled. Then I rock 0.0, no DLSS, no anti-aliasing. Depth of field, turn that off. Better clarity when you're aiming down sights. Of course, you don't want motion blur. If you have that on, shame on you. Turn it off right now. Low shadow map resolution. Keep these spot shadows and sun shadows enabled. It makes it easier for the game to load things, so it's less intensive on your CPU. Particle lighting high. Disabled, disabled, disabled. And now for the very highly requested controller settings. I do use a default PlayStation 4 controller. If you saw one of my later videos, I play claw, so I hold the controller like this, use my pointer finger to hit these buttons, and I play default flipped. Stick layout is just default. Invert look, only a rare breed uses that enabled. And now here we go to the good stuff right here. Left stick, min input dead zone, and right stick. So you want this to be as low as possible. The higher this number is, the more physical movement you need to put on your joysticks to get in-game movement. So you want it as low as possible so it's as immediate as possible. Now, after a while, when you get your new controller, your sticks will get worn out. And over time, if you don't want to buy a new controller, you can increase your dead zone. I would say increase it 1 by 1 if you're getting stick drift. For those who don't know what stick drift is, if you open up your map in Warzone and hold your controller still and you see your cursor moving left, right, up, down, diagonal, that's stick drift if it's just moving on its own. So if you increase your dead zone from like 0.03 to 0.04, test it. Is it still moving? If it's not, great, leave it. If it's still moving, increase it to 0.05, so on and so forth. Your left stick max input dead zone, right stick, I just left them completely default. Doesn't really have any impact on you as a player. I just recently changed to 6.6 180s multiplier, and I've been frying, so I'm definitely just going to leave that where it's at. Aim response curve, change that to dynamic if possible. For me personally, and a lot of other players, standard is too strong of an aim assist. The way aim assist works, just to give you a general idea, if somebody's standing still, and this is you aiming, right? Once you get within a certain distance, like as you're moving to aim onto them, right? It'll start to slow down. Aim assist will slow your shot down a little bit, saying like, hey, you're about to be on target. Dynamic it has a tighter box for where it starts to slow down, so it's a lot easier for you to be a little bit snappy or make minor adjustments when shooting. If you like standard, leave it there. I would highly recommend dynamic to a lot of people. Controller vibration, disabled. Your actual aim assist, I leave it on standard. Scale aim assist with FOV. If you're on a lower FOV, I'd recommend enabled. If you're on a higher FOV, I'd recommend disabled. As you can see on the right here, the box is essentially when your aim assist is actually going to kick in. And when you're on a higher FOV, everything is a lot smaller looking. So you might want a larger aim assist box, because with a smaller box and everything being smaller, there's a good chance you'll lose aim assist a lot more frequently. But if you're very comfortable with it on enabled, by all means, leave it on. I would recommend disabled. Weapon mount, ADS melee, aim down sight behavior, hold. Use reload behavior. This is huge. Contextual tap is the key right here. Everyone's always saying, Jay, how do you loot so quickly? How are you moving so fast? Contextual tap allows me to do so. This pretty much makes it so that whenever you're picking something up in Caldera, you just tap your button and it's just instant. It's almost like a computer click. But if you want to reload, most of you guys are probably used to tapping to reload. You're not going to be able to do so anymore. Instead, you'll have to hold the button to get that reload off. Now, depleted ammo switch, I have that enabled. Armor play behavior, apply all. I also just recently changed this as well. I had it on apply 1. Apply all is super nice. If you need to start plating, it continues to do so, and you can focus on maneuvering if someone's pushing you or trying to reposition. Slide behavior is another pretty big one. A lot of people fumble the bag on this. There's a lot of people that come into my stream and they say, how are you slide canceling all the time? It's so difficult. If you are having some trouble slide canceling, it might be because you don't have your slide behavior on tap. It makes it very instantaneous for you to slide, and overall slide canceling is a lot easier. I do have my automatic sprint turned on. I have it to automatic tactical sprint. Technically the fastest movement in Warzone, the tactical sprint, because there is the standard sprint where your gun's just like in front of you. So when you have it on automatic tac sprint and then you incorporate slide canceling, you can almost always tactical sprint, which is the fastest way to move around the map. I have vehicle camera recenter disabled, parachute auto deploy also disabled. For this part, I'm just going to scroll through and I'll let you guys pause the video and make sure that all your settings align with mine. Now, this is a pretty good part that I definitely want to touch on. Some people will buy a brand new monitor. They'll spend a few $100s and they'll not even know that the monitor doesn't automatically turn on a higher refresh rate. If you get a 144 hertz monitor, 240 hertz monitor, you just want to always make sure in your NVIDIA control panel that the refresh rate is fully activated, because it does have the option to go all the way down to 60 hertz. Remember, for hertz, the higher the better. You want to make sure that when you plug in your new monitor, you go to your NVIDIA control panel and make sure that your 240 hertz monitor isn't on 60 hertz. I know of a lot of Warzone streamers who didn't know about this and were playing on 60 hertz, like $400 monitors, and they had no idea that they had to turn on the higher refresh rate. So don't make the same mistake. This is a very interesting setting. A lot of people will come to adjust desktop color settings and they'll increase their digital vibrance to anywhere between 70 and 80. I've tested that, and for me personally, I just leave it right around 50. It's what I like best, but it might be something for you to mess around with if you're trying to make your game look a little prettier. If my settings helped you guys out in any way at all, make sure you comment below. If you guys are new around here, make sure you like the video and subscribe. We upload videos every single day. You don't want to miss any of them. But most importantly, I hope this helped you guys out. Have a great day.